staying in the context of India, right? And I think that whether you take manufactured products or services, the response that a global customer might have is, this is an Indian product, I can expect a discount. And I feel that that has been perpetuated by the suppliers to an extent where they say, we have an advantage of lower labor cost position, and hence we are able to service this lower price need. So there is a bit of a self-perpetuating cycle, right? The customer expects low price by virtue of Indian, and we kind of put up our hands and say, yes, we can offer it because our costs of production are lower. How do you respond to that when in the context of ELGi being an Indian company, and we frankly face some of the same expectations from customers, in terms of how do you respond to that, in terms of saying what's the future of that going to be? How do you evolve that perception?
I think you're in India, you come from India, customer expects you to be low cost.
Sure.
That's a given. If a customer wants to take a risk of buying a product from an unknown brand and a made in India label, it's in his every right to expect a return for that risk. And that return is in the form of a lower price. It's a given. That's fine. That's the dynamics of the business in the current context.
So we can't fight it.
I don't think it makes any sense. You can't even fight it, right? To go and say you're going to charge a premium for a product, it just doesn't make any sense. But there are two things that we need to work on. One, how much is your company dependent on cheap Indians?
Okay.
That, as a value of the company, is not acceptable. We don't want to build a strategy of ELGi. Everybody comes to work to improve their standard of living, right? Now, one aspect of standard of living is earning more. But if the strategy of the company is built on me earning less, it's a fundamental disconnect, right? So it's not sustainable. So we don't want to build ELGi on the back of Indians being cheap. We want to build ELGi in the context of Indians being as expensive as the most expensive in the world. Now, to do that, one, we need to look at how productive can we become, right? It's not about firing people, but it's about hiring less and doing more, right? The second is, how can you shift the technology to something that the value is to the customers so compelling, differentiatedly compelling from the competition. Therefore, you earn your money, right? So it's a combination of both these things. 1994, the delta between our blue-collar employee, and a European blue-collar employee was a delta of 60. 60. Yeah?
60.
Yeah. So, today, that delta is 4.
It's a big difference.
So, we have come a long way. And that's evidence to our commitment that we will continue to make Indians expensive and still be competitive, right? It's foundational to our values, yeah.